Hello, crafty friend, it's Tranae, and today we're going to have a craft talk. So, if this is your first time watching one of my craft talks, this is my series where we craft while talking about personal development, creativity, and mindfulness. Today, we are creating a Be Yourself card, and I chose this topic for this card because right now, if you look on social media, look on TV, there's so much noise about how a person should or should not be. There's so many standards, especially for women, like standards of beauty, telling you how you should or should not look and what you should or should not be doing by a certain age. And if you look at it too much, you can kind of lose yourself and lose the process of just being. Being is a state that a lot of us don't be in very often. We're either living too far in the future or too far in the past that we just forget to be. So today's craft talk is going to focus on 3 things you can do to be yourself. Right, so number 1 is don't be a people pleaser. Now, this was something that I struggled with for a very long time. Just not wanting to upset anyone else, wanting to always keep the peace, wanting to be, non-confrontational and avoid confrontation at all costs. And when you live that way, you don't speak up on certain things that you should speak up on, or you reduce yourself to accommodate other people. And when you do this, you're not living authentically. You're not being who you were created to be. So in life, you are going to ruffle some feathers. You're going to piss some people off, and that's okay. It wasn't until I was having a conversation with my dad, and I was still in high school, and we was talking about a girl that, I was not seeing eye to eye with her. Our energies just did not match, and we was talking about it. It was me, my mom, and dad, and my mom was, my mom is a very, she's a very loving spirit, and she looks for the positive in everybody all the time. So my mom was, she was like, pray about it, and then look for things that you like about this person, and maybe y'all can bond over that. And my dad, he had a completely different approach, and he was like, you weren't put here to like everybody. You weren't put here to please everybody. You're not going to like people, and there are going to be people who don't like you. You just got to learn to deal with it. And that was honestly the best advice that I've ever received, because in life, there are going to be some people that you are not meant to please. And if you spend your time trying to please them, those will be moments of joy, possibly, that you just wasting. And you wasting that energy on somebody who doesn't deserve it. So, if you are a people pleaser, then step 2 is really going to help you overcome that. And number 2 is to focus on your values and morals. We have to have a compass that has a true north, and we have to follow it. There will be some ways in life. There are going to be some lifestyles that just does not agree with your morals and your values, and that is okay. That just means you do not live that way. You don't have to spend time trying to convince other people to change their lifestyle or to see things your way. You just have to live your way in the way that you see fit to live. And when you focus on your values, you don't get caught up in the trivial stuff that does not have meaning. You live with intention when you focus your values. You live a fulfilling life when you focus on your values. Even focusing on your values will even help you financially because you'll see that there's some things that you may have been spending money on that does not align with where you want to be in life. And I have a craft talk about some shoes that were like very expensive, and I had saved up for these shoes, and they was some red bottoms, y'all. They was nice, but when I went to get them and I tried them on, they hurt my feet. And one of the values I have is I want to be able to walk comfortably in life when it comes to my feet. I don't want to walk with my shoes hurting my feet. I don't need to make things more difficult. And when I tried those shoes on, the sales representative was like, well, beauty is pain and all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. But I was able to save almost $1,000 by staying true to what I value in life. I value comfort in my shoes. But had I just wanted to, keep with the persona of having those particular red bottoms, I would have lost out on who I was and what I found, important to me. So always think about, what is important to you? What can't you compromise on? And set all of your intentions, make your decisions, choose the path that you walk based on that, and you will be going in your true north. The last tip is to have self-compassion. We can be extremely critical on ourselves. I know this was something I struggled with for so long, having the quest of being perfect, doing perfect things, looking perfect, that I missed out on a lot of opportunities because I spoke down to myself and I lowered my own self-esteem. And it took, looking at what I valued and thinking about myself as a temple to realize that I wouldn't speak or do what I was doing to myself to someone else. And I am the most valuable resource that I have. So I had to come to the conclusion that I got to stop talking down to myself. I have to forgive myself for mistakes that I've made. I have to speak kindly to myself. I have to make affirmations. I have to take time out to just be quiet, to be still. I have to save things that I find joy in just for myself. And when I started doing these things, having compassion for myself, I found it easier to be myself. So let's recap. You want to make sure that you're focusing on what matters to you and make sure that your actions are reflective of your values. You want to act with the intention of pleasing yourself and not just solely to please other people. And lastly, have compassion for yourself so that in turn you may go out into the world and have compassion for others. I am Tranae. I hope you enjoyed this craft talk, and I'll see you in the next one.